Good morning. Couple more minutes here. I'm going to keep reviewing my notes, sipping my coffee. You can keep sipping your coffee too. Tea. Hopefully that's all you've got today. It's been a crazy week. We're here to cultivate peace today, as always, in yoga class, right? Why would you cultivate anything else? Good morning. Welcome to Reset and Flow. Yes, I'm aware I've changed the name of this class a few times, and I reserve the right to change it again. It's a bit of yoga. It's a lot yoga. It's just that yoga doesn't have to look like the same from class to class to be yoga. So I hope that I've represented yoga in some different and personal ways for myself so that you can feel permission to create your own kind of yoga. Yoga is a meaning, it's a definition, it's an action. It's a set of skills, in my opinion. And in my class, we are practicing several skills of yoga. Um, and it's fair to say that in any yoga class, you're practicing some skills. Um, the skills that I like to bring to the forefront, as you can probably see and tell, are self-awareness, breathing, awareness of breath, the physical postures, other movements practiced with awareness and breath. Doesn't have to just be a yoga shape, right? The word pose actually comes from a root word that is the same root word of the word position, POS. And it means to take a seat, to have a seat, to find a seat. So we are taking a seat in poses and experiencing life in those shapes while we practice breath and cultivating peace, right? But you can do that in any shape. I would argue that it's quite beneficial to practice cultivating peace of mind in lots of shapes on and off the mat. So there you go. That's how I feel about yoga. Welcome. It is now 8:01 in Cleveland Eastern Time. Welcome to Reset and Flow. One more coffee drinking pose. One of my clients has named this coffee drinking pose. Actually, a couple of you I know have mentioned um, sipping coffee throughout practice. Totally fine. You can do what you want in your own home. One of the reasons I like Union Fit and this platform is that uh, you are being asked to be more independent with your practice and um, less reliant on me telling you about your form. Your form is probably fine. And if you want to have your form checked, you could do a private with me or with any teacher, um, or study a book. Find different ways to hone in on your practice. But I like the you're at home and you get to be an adult and manage yourself in practice. So if that includes sipping coffee, that's fine with me. It's not so, yoga isn't uh, a practice for you until it's made personal. So that's what I have to say about that today. So today we're going to practice with the sankalpa of cultivating peace, soothing your soul. It's been a stressful week in the world, not just the US with the election, and a lot of internal struggle I have experienced, um, and this need to feel more grounded. So I'm very grateful for the practice of yoga because it's helped me having being someone who practices this. Maybe you notice this as well. You're able to stay more grounded in situations of flux and big transitions. So today we will cultivate more of that, and I will highlight some just the Sankalpa. It doesn't have to be complicated with lots of stories of history of yoga. That's not what I bring into my kind of yoga. Um, So today we will practice with the Sankalpa of I cultivate peace, I practice peace. One of my favorite words, if I had to pick a word, all the words in the world, as my favorite word, it would be the word practice. And we have the right to practice anything at any time. We are a work in progress, and it's all about practicing. When you practice something, you bring it into the forefront of your mind. And that's what Sankalpa is, a meaningful intention or a vow you make to yourself to practice an intention of a quality that you already possess. So let's come onto our backs and begin as we always do in Ardha Shavasana or half Shavasana. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms at your sides, eyes closed. First, we check in and become aware of the fact that we are already whole. We are a complete person. We are not broken. We are wonderfully made and resilient. So simply observe your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit as you are. Notice your level of warmth, your mood of the day. I also want you to notice how your spine feels on your floor today. I want you to sense a neutral spine, meaning not extended or flexed, but all four curves of your spine taking shape right now against the floor. You might feel your sacrum, or that bone between your two hips that comprise your whole pelvis, your sacrum bone there, bearing weight on the floor. Then sense your lower back curve curling away from the floor. Then feel your thoracic or ribcage spine set on the floor, and then your neck curves away from the floor. So notice how your sacrum and thoracic spine share the same curve, kyphotic curve, and notice how your lumbar and neck, your cervical spine, share the same lordotic curve away from the floor. God, the Sankalpa, bring it to the forefront of your mind. I cultivate peace. I practice the cultivation of peace. So back to this neutral spine idea. Now let's begin breathing, three-part breath. First into zone 1, your lower ribs, using your diaphragm. Inhale a third of the way, pause. Inhale into your whole rib cage, second third, pause. And then inhale all the way to the top of your ribs, chest, upper back. Now hold the breath, sense the neutral spine, contract your torso muscles around that neutral spine. And then exhale, relax the core, relax the breath. Good, let's do that a couple more times. Inhale a third, pause. Inhale a second third, pause. Inhale another third, all the way full, pause. Contract 360 degrees around, belly, sides, back, even pelvic floor and shoulder stabilizers. Can you press the backs of your shoulders down a tad? Good. Now exhale, relax, shoulders, torso, pelvis. Good. One more time. Inhale a third, pause. Inhale a second third. Pause. Inhale that final third all the way full. Pause. Contract everything. Practice peace. And exhale. Great. Now bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Our practice today will have some rotation as always, and we'll work a little bit on our ankle mobility. Our check-in was our breath. How did your breath feel during that 3-part breath? How did your ability to cultivate peace during contraction feel? That's really the practice of the week, isn't it? All right, roll over to one side and grab your Coregeous ball. Tools for today, I forgot to mention, Coregeous ball, your yoga blocks, and any other pair of either original or plus size balls. We'll use these at the end if I don't forget. And I have a half block that I'm going to use this to roll the occipital points at the end of practice today. So you'll notice, I'm going to show this for comparison's sake. This block will work. I just think this is better for that rollout. Do you see how much thinner it is? This is about 4 inches wide. This is about 2 or 3 inches. I think this one's 3. They have these right now at TJ Maxx and Marshall's for like $7. Totally worth your investment. I use this a lot. For example, I'm often on the floor doing shapes and poses and stretches at night when I'm watching TV. And so I'll lie down on my open carpet space and this will go behind my head like a pillow and it allows me to see the TV and not feel like my neck is wrenched up. Place the therapy balls there. It's a great place to perch your head while you're on the floor doing a variety of stretches. So this one's just too high for that. I don't like it. Anyway, so $7, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, save it for later here. Coregeous ball. Place the ball on your belly, and if you have the ability to move your shirt up, do that, or tuck your pants down a little bit so you get skin on the ball to skin contact. Begin to just move your pelvis from right to left. Continue being aware of your breath and cultivating peace. Right? That ensures that we're practicing yoga and that we're not simply exercising. The gut has held some tension this week. And if you find that simply placing this ball on your belly right now and doing some rolling is somewhat uncomfortable, you probably need this, right? We don't even realize that we hold tension sometimes in places where we don't really need much of it. We needed it this week maybe for some bracing. Yep. But the ability to brace and let go is a practice. So maybe in the weeks ahead, practice noticing when you're holding tension in your core and let it go. Meet it with a strong contraction in your gut like we did in the warm-up with our breath. Right? Join it, contract it, and then let it go. It's a technique called contract relax or proprio neuromuscular facilitation. It just means you're engaging your brain-body connection, your mind-body connection to gather all the tension in an area, meet it where it's at by joining the contraction and then letting it go together consciously. So if you're someone that holds extra tension and you want to help calm that down at times, just bring on a contract relax. When you notice, right? Awareness. That is the super skill. Okay, with the ball now in the center of the belly, we're going to practice that same breathing exercise. So get as comfortable as possible with this ball in the middle of your belly here. So take a breath into zone 1 as if you're pushing the ball down. Pause. Breathe zone 2. Pause. Now breathe into your upper back, upper chest, all the way full. Pause. Contract the torso 360 degrees around, even the pelvic floor. Press down with the elbows, make your neck long. Shoulder stabilizers. Good. And then exhale. Relax the shoulders. Let the chest melt down. Let the belly melt over the ball and the ball mush deeper in. Good. Let's do that again. Lift up on your elbows again. Deep breath, low belly. Pause. Breathe ribs. Pause. Breathe upper back, upper chest. Pause. Contract. Don't forget pelvic floor. Cultivate peace. Soften your face. Good. Exhale. Relax the chest, shoulder stabilizers, belly, pelvic floor as you melt downward over the ball. See? You don't have to be a stress ball. You know how to find it, grab into it, and help let it go. Let's do one more breath here. Inhale, low belly. Pause. Inhale, rib cage. Pause. Now inhale all the way full, upper back, upper chest, right above those collarbones where your lungs actually reside. Hold it, contract. Don't forget pelvic floor, shoulder stabilizers. Relax the face, cultivate peace. Good. And exhale. It's a practice. Notice what you notice. Where was that difficult? Good. Now just wag the pelvis side to side again. Notice if your gut is allowing more of the ball rolling here because you have done some communication with your mind-body connection here to relax the deep gut muscles and the more peripheral gut muscles, the bracing muscles. This fight or flight response of bracing when we don't really need it has become our baseline normal sometimes. Right? It doesn't always serve us. We can do a practice to let it go throughout the day. Okay, let's take the ball away. Return your shirt to its normal state. And let's do some rolling patterns today. One of the reasons I love rolling, and we haven't done this for a while, is that it helps you find out where you're bracing and where we can let go. So the goal is to segment our spine and segment our body, meaning disintegrate it. Kind of the opposite of yoga. But that's where we're going to find where we're using some of our bigger muscles to do the moving when we want to use rolling to help our deepest core muscles closest to our spine to cultivate reflexive movement or reflexive strength during movement. I'll explain more of that in the group chat if we want to have a conversation about that. So just place your arms a bit overhead right now. We're going to do some half rolling to keep this simple today. Early on in the series of my classes here, I did some rolling. I'm not sure which class it is. It's one of the early yoga tune-up classes. If you go back there, I'll see if I can post that in the group, to the Facebook group. So lift your head up, look at your toes, then pick up your left hand. Lead with your eyes, though. Turn your head to the right, and just half roll. Tap the mat off in the corner and let your eyes pretend like you're a baby in the crib and you're looking for a toy in the corner of your crib up and over your arms here. Good. Now take your eyes, turn your eyes back to look at the ceiling and roll onto your back. Good. Lift your head again, look at your toes, turn your head, take your eyes to the other corner in the crib. Use your arm for leverage. Keep turning your eyes, look, keep turning to the left and tap. Your legs are like wet noodles. They're not doing any controlling here, ideally. And take your eyes back to the ceiling and flop back on your back. Good. What did you observe? What did you notice in your practice? Head up, look at your toes, turn your head to the right, look for that toy in the corner, use your left arm for leverage. Keep looking to your right, looking, tap the floor. Relax your left leg. In fact, really relax it. Let the knee bend and just feel that rotation, that twist. Let your left hip be heavy. Good. Turn your head back to the ceiling and flop back on your back. Excellent. Head up, look at your toes. Turn your head to the left. Keep looking, bring that right arm for leverage. Relax the right leg. Keep turning the head to the left, to the left, to the left. Tap the mat. Relax your right leg completely. Let the knee bend, fall to the floor, and let your right hip drop down. Good. Excellent. And then turn your head to the ceiling, eyes looking, finding your way back. Good. Okay, now we're going to do a full roll. Head up, look at your toes. We're going to roll all the way onto our front. Turn your eyes to the right. Use your left arm for leverage. Rolling to the right, rolling to the right, rolling to the right. Hand comes to the floor. Keep turning your head to the right and let your left leg slither over, hip to floor, thigh to floor. Now you're face down on the mat. Good. Now, face down, lift your head up. Turn your head to the left. And you're going to keep turning your eyes, turning your eyes. You're dragging that left arm. Keep turning the eyes. Let the left arm just be like a rag doll and flop, and your leg flop. But let the arm flop first. Legs are still like wet noodles. Ready? Chin up. Turn your head to the left. Use your right arm for leverage. Keep turning your eyes to the left, to the left, to the left. You'll tap the floor and let that leg and hip and leg roll and plop down on the floor. Hopefully you've got enough room to do this. Okay, we'll roll back on our backs now. Head up. Turn your eyes to the right. Keep turning your head. You're looking for that toy in the other corner over there. Keep turning your head, turning your head. Notice how your body is following the eyes, the arm, and then the leg. So that's the practice. I'm not going to repeat that so we can keep moving today. But if you want, later you can rewind this if you need more guidance, or just simply practice this in the morning or before exercise as a warm-up to get your mind and body connected. Your eyes rule the roost, and they grant you permission for movement, mobility, and power. They need to see where they're going first. That's why we lead with the eyes. It makes for a happy nervous system. That's why dancers spot the wall when they're spinning, so they feel safe to spin so rapidly and elegantly. Okay, come up onto your hands and knees and begin to rock forward and back. So before there was codified yoga poses, there was basic human movement, right? And we just moved around. We explored our relationship to gravity as babies. No one taught us how to move. We just moved. We are designed for movement. So rock forward and back, one of your earliest movement patterns here. Keep your head up. Excellent. Every now and then, take a deep breath. Otherwise, just breathe naturally. No forced breathing. We're waking up the muscles in the hips and the weight bearing of our shoulders, warming up the wrists a little bit, spines in neutral. Let's alternate now, curling the toes and then pointing the toes, warming up the toe joints, the feet. Good. Now I want you to rock, keep your toes pointed, and rock in a circular fashion. I want to bring in some lateral flexion or side bending. I'm circling to the right at the moment. Get your head back up. And now let's circle to the left. Your circle doesn't have to be as large as mine. Just notice what you notice. Do what feels sensible. Right? Cultivating awareness and peace. What do I see? What do I feel with my inside eyes? My perception of movement. So now on hands and knees, I want you to side bend to the left and side bend to the right. It's as if you're wagging your tail, but actually you're moving your rib cage from to the right side and to the left. Notice the side bend. So it's the rib cage leading. You know how when it's the rib cage. Head up. Good. Okay, now stabilize in this quadruped position. Now wag the lower half. Rib cage stays stable and the tail is wagging, creating also lateral flexion. Good. Try it again. Rib cage. Stabilize the hips. The rib cage moves like a carriage on a typewriter or your printer cartridge, ink cartridge. Goes from right to left, right? All right, stabilize upper body. Wag the lower half from right to left. Good. Okay. Come back into child's pose. Come off those wrists. Bring your hands all the way back by your feet. Fingers to the ceiling. Backs of your hands on the floor. And just breathe and feel the pull of gravity under your body. Relax your shoulders. These moments where we're holding a relaxing pose, scan your body. Where are you holding tension? Just notice. Don't be mad at it. Let it go. Tension we don't need, right? Tension's actually not a problem. It's the overtension, the imbalance of tension. So let that overbalance or that overtension dissolve. And in the moment, we'll use tension, the pulling of the muscles, the pulling of the bones to hold us and move us into various shapes, right? That's also tension. That's the kind of tension we want to cultivate in yoga. Letting go of the chronic holding and cultivating movement or the pulling of the bones with the muscles, that kind of tension. So our game that we're practicing is how can we do these shapes without creating undue tension we don't need. And one of the ways we do that, a big way in yoga, is by paying attention to our breath as we go along. Good. I cultivate peace. I practice cultivating peace in stillness and in movement, on and off the mat. In yoga practice and in my world. Okay, let's crawl the arms forward. Push the palms down, look up, and look back down again. Some head nodding. Tap the forehead to the floor. Just breathe naturally. Lift the head up and down. With the arms overhead here, can you bring the shoulders down a bit as you lift the head? Feel those muscles stabilizing the shoulders onto the back. Contracting as you push the palms and lift the head up and down. Good. One more time, lift the head. Slide the elbows under your chest here. You guessed it, one of my favorite moves. Bring your right hand towards your ear. Inhale. Exhale, open to the right. Yes, push that left forearm down a bit. Inhale back down, touch right elbow to left elbow. And exhale, open to your right. Good. Inhale down. Exhale, open. Inhale down. Exhale, open. And one more time. Inhale, elbow down. Exhale, lead with your eyes. Good. And come back down. Maybe you were doing that with your eyes already. I'll remind you sooner on this next side. Left hand to your left ear. Good. Inhale. Exhale, lead with your eyes to the left. Good. Inhale. It's going to help your body cultivate more twist by leading with those eyes. Allows the muscles to agree with you to reduce the overtension. Inhale down and create the appropriate balance of tension to get into this rotated shape. Good. Inhale, two more. Exhale, lead with the eyes. Let them chase for the view before your elbow gets up there. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Good. And bring the elbow down. Crawl your arms forward and come to downward facing dog pose. Good. Push the ground away a lot with your hands. Let the shoulders hike up to the ears for a moment. Now continue pushing the ground away with your hands, and can you slide the shoulders up, or I should say up to the hips, down your back, right? Creating like a long neck on either side of your neck. Also, widen your shoulder blades on your back, like you're trying to wrap them around more to the sides of your ribs. Yes. Good. Root your thumb and index finger as you widen those blades and send them down your back or up towards your hips in this case, in this downward facing dog shape. Good. Yes. Super strong arms. Excellent. Now take a walk to the front of your mat. That's how you cultivate a good downward dog shoulder. So keep that up today. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. Bring your blocks next to you. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach up, pull. Root your feet, reach your ribs. Good. Mountain pose. Find that neutral spine again. Touch your sacrum with the back of one hand and touch your thoracic spine, if you can, up above here with your upper arm. Good. And let's switch sides. Sacrum with the right hand or your left hand and touch your thoracic spine. Good. Let's do that again. Switch arms. One hand on the sacrum. Bring one hand to the back of your head now. Push your head into the back of your hand. See if you can sense the back of your head lining up with that bottom hand. Now take a deep breath. Belly, 360 ribs. Good. Upper torso, upper neck. Pause. Contract. And let it all go. Good. Switch the arms. One hand on the back of the sacrum, one hand on the back of the head. Sense that back of your head lining up with the bottom hand. Good. Breathe in again. Zone 1, lower ribs, mid ribs, upper ribs, all the way full. Hold it. Contract. Front to back, side to side, pelvic floor. Good. Push the head a little bit back. Excellent. Exhale. Return both hands to your sides. Excellent. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Look up. Breathe into your back. And dive down over your legs. Good. Step your right leg back to a lunge and look up. Sink your hips. Good. Now straighten the legs. Bend back into that lunge. Look up. Good. Hop the back foot forward as you straighten both legs. Step the leg back into a lunge. Look up. Tap the knee down. Good. Hop the back foot forward. Straighten the legs. Drop the head down. So we're alternating between a lunge with the knee down looking up and hopping the back leg forward. Looks like pyramid pose, head drops. Do that a few more times. Step back, tap the knee, look up. Good. Step up, fold, pyramid shape. 2 more times. Step back, tap the knee, look up. 1 more time. Step forward, pyramid pose. Hold here. Take your blocks tall. Come up halfway with your spine, look up, and rock forward and back. Ideally, both feet stay on the floor. So if your back heel is popping up, slide it a little more forward. Take a shorter stance. All right, we've done this pose later in the practice before, but it's also a great warm-up. Little dynamic movement here before we begin holding poses. So as you rock forward, left hip moves out to the left a little bit. As you rock back, right hip moves out to the right. Can you sense that lateral flexion? Sense the side bending, right? With the wagging of the tail here, with the way you're moving forward and back in this rocking pattern. Look up. Where are the shoulders? Is your neck long? Good. Okay. Bend both knees. Find your way to downward facing dog pose. Check in with those shoulders. Widen the blades. Arms long. Press those hips way back. Good. Inhale forward to plank pose. Get strong in your plank. Once again, shoulders wide. Shoulder blades wide. Look up. Strengthen your legs. Squeeze your glutes a little bit. Get the whole body engaged. Good. Now bring your knees down. Lower all the way down. Inhale to a cobra. Good. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do 4 more cobras here. Inhale, lift up. Good. Exhale, down. You guessed it. Lead with those eyes. Inhale, look up towards your own eyebrows. Good. Exhale, down. Just tap the forehead. Maybe close your eyes in between. Inhale, look up, eyebrows. Good. We're trying to cultivate some thoracic extension here. So let those eyes lead. So maybe we eke out a little bit more range of motion. And tap the forehead one more time. Inhale. Good. Forehead back down. Let's press back through water drinking pose. Toes curled under, arms outstretched. And come back up into downward facing dog pose. This time, though, widen the legs in a wide-legged downward dog. Good. Feel free to use your blocks. This is a great way to take a load off your hands and shoulders. No need to overuse downward dog if it's irritating those things. Plus, as you can feel here, this is bringing in a nice stretch to those adductors and hamstrings, which a lot of my active and athletic clients appreciate. I didn't say like, appreciate, right? Breathe 360 into those lungs, all the way around. So not just into the front, that's what 360 means, right? Breathe into the back, breathe into your sides. Good. One more breath here. Now, return to a regular downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath in. Good. Exhale, step your right foot between your 2 hands. Get your blocks handy. Sink the hips, look up. Tap the back knee down. Good. Hop the back foot forward a little bit and fold. Step the back foot back, lunge, tap the knee down, look up. Hop forward, straighten the legs, bow the head, pyramid. Step back, lunge, tap the back knee down, look up. Good. Hop forward, bow the head. A few more times. Step back, tap down, look up. Lead with those eyes. And step forward, fold. 2 more times. Step back. Yes, those hips are getting some good tuning up here. Step forward and bow. 1 more time. Step back, tap the knee. Exhale, step forward. We're going to hold here in this pyramid stance. Hop that back foot close enough. Take your blocks highest and rock forward and back with both feet stuck to the mat, especially that back heel. Look up. And when I say look up, don't wrench the neck up, just to be clear. It's like you're looking a few feet forward off of your mat, just enough to have the head up, cultivating that lordotic curve in the neck. Right, the head's lifting against gravity here. It's a good way to unwreck your tech neck. Right, look for ways to oppose gravity and lift that head. Shoulders wide and down, rocking forward and back, laterally flexing side to side. So as you rock forward, right hip sticks out and you laterally flex left in the spine. Not sure if you sense that. As you rock back, left hip punches out left and the side arcs to the right in a side bend. Keep that up, breathing. Good. Okay. Rock to step forward. Fold over both legs. Feel free to bend your knees as always. And inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back down into your legs. Good. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Firm your hips, reach up, pull. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, reach all the way up. Hook your left wrist, side bend to your right, and look underneath that left arm towards the angle up at the ceiling. Inhale, reach up, look up, switch the grip to the right wrist, side bend left. Look under that right arm to the right. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up. Swan dive down over your legs. Good. Step your left leg back to a lunge. Come into dragonfly with or without your block. I happen to like the block for this one because we're going to add bowing warrior to this. So hold the dragonfly for a moment. Good. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale into bowing warrior. I want you to bow this right arm between your right leg and left arm and cultivate a flexed spine. See if you can reach towards your knee, the bottom of your thigh there. Now inhale here. Good. Exhale back up into dragonfly. Look up. Inhale back to bowing warrior. Tap above that left knee. Good. Exhale, dragonfly. Look up. Inhale, bowing warrior. Exhale, dragonfly. Good. 2 more times. Inhale, bowing warrior. Exhale, open dragonfly. 1 more time. Inhale, bowing warrior. Exhale, dragonfly. We're going to hold dragonfly now and add some contract, relax with that back leg. Tap the back knee down. Good. Release so it's on slack and lift it up. Squeeze left thigh, left glutes. Good. Bring it down and bring it up. Squeeze that left leg. Good. 3 more times. Tap it down and lift up. Bring it down. Good. And lift up. Bring it down. Last one. We're going to hold it here with the leg extended. Squeeze that left thigh, left glute. Hug both hips in towards the center, towards your sacrum. Good. Big wingspan. 1 more deep breath. Stay with it on the exhale. Twist. Look up. Good. Bring that arm back down. Find your way to downward facing dog pose. Good. Drop your heels here. Inhale forward to plank pose. Hold plank for a brief moment. Look up. Become aware and make this a pose that we are residing in, right? We live here at this moment. Widen the shoulder blades. Squeeze the legs a little. Lift the head up. Good. And then lower your plank all the way down. Inhale, 5 cobras. Look up. Good. Exhale, lower. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lower. Remember to press the tops of your feet and press your pelvis. Inhale, here's 3. Good. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Press the feet, the pelvis, shoulders wide, chest broad, look up. Good. And down. 2 more times. Inhale, integrate your whole body into this. Look up. Good. And down. And 1 more time. Inhale. Look up. And down. Good. All right, press back into water drinking pose, toes curled under. Deep breath as you stretch back through those feet. And to downward facing dog pose. Widen the stance again. Bring your hands up onto blocks. Bring your hips back in the same plane as your ankles, right? This nice extended or a wide-legged downward dog here. Feel free to bend the knees. Aim your knees for the middle of the foot, not the big toe. A little wider. Good. Let the head drop. Turn your head side to side. Good. And then nod your head up and down. Light on those wrists. Good. Anchor your palms on your blocks, feet anchored on the floor. And I want you to laterally flex. Move the right side of your ribs to the right. Now move the left side of the ribs over to the left, just like we did in that quadruped stance. We're still in quadruped, right? We're just higher off the ground. So like that printer cartridge gliding from side to side in the printer, laterally flexing the spine from right to the left. See if you can pick up your head and put it between your arms, your upper arms, your ears right between. So your head's in neutral, your neck is in neutral. Good. All right, now stabilize the upper body. And it's a little bit more challenging to wag the tail in this position, but can you? Try putting a slight bend in the knees. Probably feeling this mostly in your hamstrings and adductors. That's fine. Adjusting that tensional balance in the hips, the legs. Good. Okay. Walk those feet back in, regular downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And step your left foot in between your two hands. I'm going to use the blocks again for the dragonfly bowing warrior combo. So first inhale into dragonfly. Good. And exhale into bowing warrior. Now stay here in bowing warrior. Take a deep breath in. And exhale into dragonfly. Reach up, look up. Good. Inhale, bowing warrior. That left hand moves down towards the top of the right thigh. And exhale into dragonfly. Come back into that lunge. Good. Inhale, bowing warrior. Exhale, dragonfly. Inhale, bowing warrior. Exhale, dragonfly. 2 more times. Inhale, bow. Exhale, twist. And 1 more. Inhale, bow, rounding through that upper back. Good. Open up into dragonfly. Here we hold it. But let's bring the right knee down. Put it on slack for a moment. All right, extend that right leg. Squeeze the right thigh. Squeeze the right glutes as you twist. And then tap the knee down. Relax it. Still holding the twist. Extend that leg again. Squeeze. Good. And bring it down. Let's extend, squeeze, big wingspan, and come down. Lift up, squeeze. Lift up and out of that right shoulder. Try not to sink too much. And bring it down. You're pushing the ground away. 1 more time here. Extend that back leg. Hold it though. Actually, I think that was 4. 1 more time. Tap the back knee down. And extend. Here we hold. Squeeze that back leg. Big wingspan. Lift up and out of that right shoulder. Look up. Breathe. Good. And bring that arm down. Release the blocks. Scoot the back foot forward. Fold over both legs. Bend your knees. Wiggle your feet from right to left and turn your toes out a bit. And hang down, holding on to elbows. Just feel this sense of traction on your spine. I cultivate peace. I relax your jaw, your shoulders. Let your legs hold you up here. Send your hips back. Light in your toes. Feel the weight in your heels mostly. Good. 1 more breath. Heel toe your feet back together. Inhale, lift up halfway. Good. Exhale, fold. And come all the way up to stand. Big inhale. And mountain pose. All right, come into chair pose. Not a whole lot of chair pose today, but here's one. Good. And swan dive down over your legs. Step your right leg back to a lunge. You can use the blocks. I'm going to. Now I want you to take your right knee. You're going to slide it forward next to your left big toe into cowboy pose. All right. Some of you don't like this pose because it's hard for you. Use your blocks. Okay. If you need to sit on a block, put a block under your left butt here, and that will help. But ideally, the left heel is down right next to your right shin. Okay, but use the blocks to moderate that. Don't be a hero. There's no trophy at the end of this class, right, for enduring a difficult pose. So make it workable. We're working on the ankle mobility here. In this case, the dorsiflexion of your left ankle, or the forward bend, if you will, and the plantar flexion of your right ankle. So figure out a way to make it workable. You've got props. You can lean with your hands forward. Just keep that back heel down. How about coming up to stand in your torso like this? How's that feel on that right knee? You could put a block under both hips if needed. I'll give an example. I'm sitting on both blocks, or maybe you have the super blocks. See, here's a very workable way of working on the same kind of ankle mobility here. Take a deep breath. Remember, breathing helps us cultivate peace. Becoming aware of our breath helps us cultivate peace. This is a fantastic way to sip your coffee in the morning. Good. If you're seated upright in this cowboy pose, inhale your arms up and side bend to your right. Good. Inhale both arms up. Side bend over to your left. Let's do that again. Inhale both arms up. This time, hook your left wrist and side bend, staying seated. Good. Inhale, switch the wrist grab. Left hand grabs the right wrist now. Side bend. One more time. Inhale. Either way, you can side bend all the way like the first way we did it, or you could do the wrist grab. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend left. Good. Inhale, reach up. This time, look up. And let's come to downward facing dog pose. I'm going to leave my blocks right there in the middle. Deep breath in. Press back through downward facing dog pose. Actually, I'm going to move my blocks off to the side so we can do a vinyasa. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, bring your plank down. Inhale, just one cobra. Exhale, back to water drinking pose. Toes curled under, arms outstretched. And back to downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step your right foot in between your two hands. Find your blocks, first in a lunge. And then slide your left knee towards your right big toe, right? Cowgirl pose. And use the blocks however you wish. Feel free to stay here if that worked for you and do your side bending from here. Or perch yourself back up on those blocks. Just to give a balance to my body, I'm going to sit up on the blocks. It doesn't have to hurt to work. This might seem easier for the length of time that I'm holding this pose. It is easier, less pressure. But when I sit here and sip coffee or work on my laptop at a low desk, after about a minute, my tops of my feet don't like this. So I switch positions. So this does become harder the longer you hold it, for those of you not feeling it right now. Just assume the shape, the pose, the position, the seat. This is where you live right now, in this moment, in this position, in this pose. I practice cultivating peace. Let's add some lateral flexion. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Reach with that right arm. Inhale up and side bend with your right hand down. Good. Inhale, reach up. Side bend to the left. Inhale, reach up. Side bend to the right. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, reach up. Side bend to the right. Inhale, reach up. Good. And bring both arms down. Good. So I'd love to know if you were able to practice this one during the week off your mat in your life. Let me know. Work on those ankles, knees, and hips. It gets you below the height of a chair. That's how you work on your hips and ankle and knee mobility and health, joint health, outside of yoga. All right, come into child's pose. Now lift up out of child's pose. We're going to find a supported squat, or in yoga we call it malasana. So come into a sumo squat here. This might be your squat for today. Or if you have super blocks, maybe you sit down on a super block. I'm going to grab a super block just to demo in case you don't have one. You're new to me. This is worth your time and investment. It's about $30 if you Google yoga super block. They come in purple, blue, and black. So search for the color you like. This allows me to have a supported squat. Not a whole lot of pressure on my ankles, knees, and hips here, but over time it will become more of a challenge because this is below chair height. Chair height is usually right parallel to the floor, but now we've taken our hip into a deeper range of motion. So this is working on hip mobility. Pull your knees apart. See if you can have your toes pointing more straight ahead. Not perfect, but now pull your knees apart and root the balls of your big toes. Yes, you're igniting, you're connecting this pattern from your big toe up your legs into your glutes. This is how you work on mobilizing your squat. Those of you that squat for exercise. Inhale, reach your arms up. Good. Exhale, side bend to the right. I'm using a block, or you could just lean on your thigh. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Elbow on the thigh. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your elbows inside your thighs. Push into your elbows. Yes, work a little internal rotation here. Keep pushing, 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 pushing. Good. And then push the knees out. Now bring your forearms outside of your knees. Push into those forearms. Pushing out. Good. Push, 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 push. Good. And relax. Let's repeat forearms on the inside. Push, 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 push. Inward. Good. Working our adductors here. Giving our external rotators a bit of a break. And then let's switch. Forearms on the outside. Push out into the forearm resistance. Turning on the external rotators. Giving the internal rotators a bit of a break. Good. Now, Find that squat shape again where you root the balls of your big toes. Drive the knees out, reach up, inhale. Can you sense neutral spine? Lean back if you need to, or be using a chair if this is too deep for you. Good. Keep driving those knees out, reach up, reach up. Good. Side bend to your right. Inhale, reach up. Side bend to your left. I know some of you, this is the hardest part of class. Keep with me, breathe. Practice peace in a difficult situation. Reach up. Good. And bring both arms down and just relax. Hang out here without so much effort. Yeah. If you're using your smaller blocks, that's great. Maybe you've stacked them. Okay. We're going to lift up out of the squat now. So arms come forward. Keep driving those knees wide. Give yourself a little momentum. Rock, right? We're going to rock into a chair pose. Lift the hips up. It's like a wide-legged chair. Drive the knees out, drive the knees out, drive the knees out. Good. Chest up. Look up. Now stand up. Drive those feet down. Reach up. Look up. And bring your feet together. Mountain pose. Nice work. Okay. Come on down to the ground. We're going to do one more rotation pose called Jatara Parivartanasana from yoga. You're going to need one block. It could be your super block. Take a look. It looks like chair pose. And the block is between both knees, so your knees stay together. Your legs, you know how the cues in chair pose are to twist through the waist and ribs? Well, we're still doing that, but now your upper body is the stable object, and your hips are going to be moving, your legs and hips. So squeeze that block and keep your legs mirroring one another so they're like one leg zipped up together. Keep the knees towards your chest. You're going to lower your knees towards your right hand about halfway down. Just about halfway down. Can you keep your left shoulder pressed to the floor? Good. Now come right back up. Derotate yourself back up. Good. Now rotate to the ground, about 3/4 to the left now, toward the left hand, about halfway down, sorry, and then derotate to get yourself back up. Good. Actually, you're derotating. Certain muscles are working here, certain muscles are stretching. Good. And come back up. To the left. Keep those knees high, moving toward the left hand. Right shoulder blade pressing best you can. Come back up. Keep going to the right side. Good. And back up. As the knees go left, focus on that right shoulder and right arm pressing. Good. And come back up. One more time to each side. Keep squeezing that block. Anchor the left shoulder blade. Good. And come back up. And to the left, anchor the right shoulder blade. Good. We'll take a break here in Ardha Shavasana. Close your eyes just for a quick moment here, not quite done. We're going to do one more set of those because I know you really had a good time doing that. It's a good one. Okay, bring the block between those knees again. I'm going to show you how to progress it in case you want a little more without compensating through the shoulder. We want to keep those shoulders down. In fact, right now, before we move the legs at all, press the shoulders into the ground. Depress them down your back. Make your neck long. Press your palms, your elbows, and your shoulders glued to the floor. You feel that? Now squeeze the block. Now take the block toward the right hand, both legs about halfway down. Don't lose that left shoulder connection. Good. And come right back up. To the left. Right shoulder stays down. Knees move towards the left hand, just halfway down. Good. And come back up. So that's the way we did it first, right? To make this a little harder, just in case you want something more, straighten your left leg. Now lower the knees toward the right hand. Don't lose that left shoulder's connection. Good. Squeeze the block. Come back up. Good. Now bend the left knee again. Straighten the right knee. Knees go left. You got it. What's happening in the right shoulder? Good. Come back up. Are you noticing one side's different than the other? Just notice. This is a good chance to work on the appropriate tension balance. Now my left leg is straight, knees are going toward right hand, left shoulder awareness. Good, come back up. Switch the legs, right leg straight, squeeze the block, knees lower toward the left. Awareness in the right shoulder. My right shoulder wants to pop up so much more than my left. 2 more times to each side. Squeeze the block, left leg straight. Good, about halfway down. Squeeze the block, left shoulder, come up. Switch the legs, right leg straight, knees to the left hand, right shoulder awareness. Good, use your core to bring yourself back up. One more time, left leg straight, knees to the right hand, left shoulder pressing. Good, come back up. Reach up, bracing through that torso. Yeah. And come back up. Good. Ooh, Ardha Shavasana, nice work. Okay, you've earned that last roll out. Roll to one side. Find your half block or your regular block. Toted therapy balls. Tighten the tote. The back of your head is going to come onto the block like a pillow. And the balls are going right beneath your ponytail if you're like me and you have a ponytail. Right at those occipital points. These are attachment points for your upper trapezius muscle. Good. And that the head is resting in the cradle of the therapy balls while you're in Ardha Shavasana here. So close your eyes if you can. Get yourself situated on the block. Just let the weight of your head lean into the balls and accept. I'll help your body to accept the slight pressure of the weight of the head, receiving the slight pressure of the balls into the upper traps here. Soften your jaw, your eyelids, your whole face. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Now begin to move your head from right to left, alternating pressure into the right ball and then the left. You might feel this radiating up through your whole scalp. I do. Or down the back of your neck. Just keep returning to the awareness of your breath and remember your sankalpa. I practice cultivating peace. Remember, as I said in the beginning, there are skills of yoga, breath awareness being one of them, the skill of cultivating peace, the skill of practicing relaxation, the skill of observing your overtension, meeting it where it's at through contraction, letting it go collectively with your mind's effort. These are skills that make us better people during times of stress. Think of the skills of yoga practiced in your everyday life as actively reducing your own stress. There's lots of passive ways, right? Such as getting a massage from someone else or even drinking a glass of wine, right? These are passive ways or outside ways from other sources that are relaxing us. But the active ways of relaxing ourselves that we've practiced today in this class are more powerful because you cultivated these things yourself. You've developed the skill of being able to relax. And in times of deep stress or sudden stress, the masseuse might not be available, right? There might not be a glass of wine available, nor would you maybe want those two things at that time. You want to be able to tap in to your your skills of relaxation, of cultivating your own peace. Good. Now nod your head up and down. Sure, it takes effort, but so does anything worth it in life, right? Self-ownership, self-knowledge, self-effort has way greater endurance than that glass of wine or that hour-long massage. Good. Let's go ahead and remove the toted therapy balls and remove the block and come into Shavasana. Feel free to use any props you like to set up and be most comfortable. I'm just going to keep it simple today. A simple Shavasana today. Become aware of your breath. Let your legs be heavy, your pelvis, your spine, your arms, your shoulders, and your head. Very heavy. Feel the pull of gravity under your whole body. And then silently say to yourself, I cultivate peace. I feel peace. I am experiencing the feeling of peace. And I like it. So as you rest in silence here for the next 5 or so minutes, when you find your mind wandering away, allow it to wander, but if you can remember, silently say to yourself, I like this feeling of peace. And return to your breath. What if someone from above were to say to you at this moment, everything is happening as it should? What would you do? you'd probably relax deeper. So give yourself permission to relax deeper. Now bring some awareness back to your breathing. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Bend your elbows and reach your arms overhead towards the wall behind you. Allow your breath to deepen naturally. And before we roll onto one side, bring your arms back down by your sides. And let's check in with our 3-part breath, comparing it to how it felt in the beginning. So breathe into your lower ribs a third of the way. Pause. Breathe in a second third. Pause. And breathe in that final third, upper back, upper chest, all the way full. Contract your torso, pelvic floor. Press the shoulders down a tad. Good. And exhale. Let it all go. Pelvic floor, core, shoulders. And resume breathing naturally. Hopefully you felt the letting go be a little easier this time. If not, continue to practice just that simple drill. 3-part breath with the contract, relax. Let that be something you insert into your day to help you check in with your overtension. Roll onto one side. Think of something you're grateful for. Find ease in your breath right now. And walk up to a seated position. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. I will see you this week ahead. I think I'm going to focus on ankles. And while you may think my ankles aren't a problem, understanding and appreciating how ankle mobility and foot stability are cornerstone to your life being good. I'm going to explain that. What your feet and ankle do and don't do affect the health of your knees, your hips, your low back, your whole spine, your life. So trust me, you're going to want to participate in this class Wednesday, which is all therapy ball and movement in just the ankle local region. And then we'll weave that into the yoga flow on Sunday. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.